Do you remember how GLASSTINT Sunset film came about? I've been working at GLASSTINT for about 8 years now. Before Sunset was released, our product lineup was mostly non-metal, non-reflective films. So while Sunset may seem like a common reflective film today, reflective films are common. But from our brand's perspective, it was a challenge into a slightly new category. GLASSTINT didn't have a reflective film back then. From 2006 to 2018. For 12 years, we kept focusing only on non-reflective films, launching them as part of our portfolio. When I mainly communicated with customers or communicated with installation shops, there were quite a few requests early on for the release of a reflective film like Sunset. At first, we also focused mainly on non-metal, non-reflective films, and that was our main category and a symbol of the brand. Because of that, I personally had a somewhat negative impression of reflective films. That was also how I marketed things. Since reflective films contain metal, they can cause signal interference. They can also create interior reflection, so they can cause discomfort while driving. Non-reflective films are the best. Window film should definitely be non-reflective. The person who marketed that very actively and led that message is sitting right here today. But after 2018, in 2019, we added a metallic material and coated it, creating the first GLASSTINT lineup of its kind, Sunset. But a GLASSTINT reflective film? They have a reflective film? A lot of people thought that. But that film changed those perceptions. And then Sunset really took off. That is how, within GLASSTINT, Sunset has now become something like a steady seller. It has been one of our best-selling products. And even today, it continues to sell very well. When it comes to a product I've used, or something I've personally experienced, I'm very cautious about recommending it to someone else. Personally, even if I like it, it might not be right for that person. So unless I'm really confident, it's not easy to recommend, especially with window tinting. Once it is installed, it has to stay with the car, almost until the car is replaced. It is a product that needs to last a long time. One choice can make a big difference. Once installed, it usually lasts 3 to 4 years, right? So because of that, I don't recommend our products unconditionally. I look at the person's driving style, and sometimes I say, this one would be best among our products. There may also be cases where our products really do not fit. Then that's the end of it. The consultation ends there. But with Sunset, those who have experienced it will know. It is a product I can recommend without much hesitation. It is not extremely expensive, but it is not a low-end product either. So for someone who cares about their car, or wants to choose a good product, it sits at a price point they can decide on fairly comfortably. It is definitely a product worth recommending to others. Sunset has no complaints. The metal content itself is not like a heavily sputtered film. It does not rely only on the effect of metal for heat rejection. It is combined with ceramic, so it is different from films that block heat only through sputtering. There are no complaints about signal interference. There can be many things, of course. I can't see well, things like that. But so far, there have been no complaints like that. First of all, it is basically ceramic. The ceramic material has been carbon treated. It has undergone carbon treatment. Basically, carbon treatment prevents color change. It can be used for 10 years without issue, and its heat rejection performance does not change. That is why people feel it will not be a problem to choose again. They feel they would choose Sunset again next time. There is no change of opinion about that at all. That is the kind of film it is, right? There are no complaints and no issues. It really feels more comfortable when you drive. I think that kind of feeling is what consumers experience. That is how I see it. If I had to define Sunset in one phrase, it would be Hong Gil-dong. The reason is, Hong Gil-dong's background was not particularly grand. He was born as a concubine's son. But later, he grew into such a great figure that he could almost shape the history of a nation. To be honest, Sunset was similar for us. It was developed in response to requests from shops and consumers. We did not expect it to become such a central product. But now, for GLASSTINT, it has become an essential product that made the brand more widely known. It started humbly, but grew into something great. I think that kind of product is Sunset. To sum up Sunset in one phrase, Sunset is beautiful. like the evening sunset. There is no natural scenery more beautiful, like a beautiful natural landscape. It gives our customers a beautiful view. That is why I can say, sunset is beautiful. We also have a lot of affection for the sunset product. That is why we pay close attention to quality and those details. Going forward, we will continue working to make even better products and an even better sunset through continuous monitoring and development. Our headquarters is currently in Cheongdam-dong. Cheongdam-dong 83-3. That is where we are located. For example, if you are in Gyeoch or if you are in Taebaek and you want to get sunset installed, what should you do? If you go to our website, the nationwide list of installation shops is clearly organized on a map. If you select your preferred region, city, or county, the nearest installation shops will be shown at a glance. You can contact them from there and visit the shop. That way, you can get your installation conveniently. Today, we took a deep dive into sunset, how sunset was born and how it grew, why people look for it, and we also discussed its future outlook. That is it for today's video. We will be back with another good video. Thank you, everyone.